this is how smart investors are guaranteeing every property they buy will always make them a profit. So if you're an aspiring property investor, or you're thinking about buying your first investment or residential property, here are 6 things that you have to know and have to research before you buy a property. The first one is often overlooked, and this is what we call the government growth plan. The question is, what is the local government planning to do or implement in that area? And have they specified a specific amount of money, often in the hundreds of millions and in some cases billions of pounds, that they have earmarked specifically to rejuvenate, revamp and to re-energize an area? Because if you get in at the right time, you're going to be able to maximize your property investment. So let's look at some examples of government growth plans across the UK. One of them is the Northern Powerhouse Initiative, and this affects places like Manchester, Leeds, Liverpool, Sheffield, Newcastle, where the government is focusing their attention on economic growth, infrastructure development, and trying to improve connectivity across Northern England. It means the government have earmarked significant investment into transportation and digital infrastructure. Let's look at another initiative, the Midlands Engine, and this affects places like Birmingham, Nottingham, Leicester, Derby, where the government is focusing on improving economic growth. They want to improve transport links, and they're spending millions of pounds on enhancing vital skills and innovation in the Midlands. An example of one of their key projects was the HS2, and further investment in things like manufacturing and the automotive industry, where the government are focusing on economic development and skill enhancement. If you want to make sure your investments do well, you want to figure out where the government is planning to invest millions of pounds. Because when they invest that money, it leads into another key criteria, which is employment, and we'll talk about that later. So number 2, planning permission statistics. This is often overlooked. Every local government, every local council, they have house building targets, and they have a number of properties that they want to bring to market. They have the data on how many people are coming into this area, and their targets are based on that. So what you want to do is you want to go on your local planning website, and you want to find the information on what their targets are, and more importantly, how far off their targets they are. Now, when a council is typically behind on their targets, and in some cases maybe get their Christmas bonus, they might become a bit more flexible with regards to granting planning permission in a quicker and more efficient manner. Now, if a council is behind on their targets, it means they're going to be a lot more relaxed, and it means there's an opportunity for you as an investor to buy into an area that the council is in support of landlords bringing properties to market and developers bringing more properties to the market. Number 3, and I think this is probably one of the most important ones that you need to understand before you buy a property, whether it's an investment or whether it's a residential property, you have to understand what the crime rate is in your area. You can utilize websites like ADT Security Services, where you can put in the postcode of the specific property that you're trying to buy, and it will give you an itemized list of the types of crime in that area. Now, I want to go off topic just slightly, but I want you to understand what drives property prices. Of course, there are multiple things that drive property prices, but this very key thing affects whether a property price will increase or not, and it's the crime rate. Now, property prices are usually set based on something called precedence. A precedence means what was the previous. It's a legal term. If something is set in stone, it becomes the standard, and that's how property prices behave. If you are to buy a property for £150,000, the next person that buys a property on that street, their offer will start above £150,000 because you have now set the benchmark. And when they buy, they might buy for £160,000, and the next person that comes to buy will buy over £160,000, and that's what causes property prices to increase. You've got to take into consideration that if an area has a high crime rate, it means people will not be moving into that area, and if people are not moving and buying properties in that area, it's not causing property prices to increase. So when you are buying a property, make sure you are analyzing what the crime rate in the area is. Hey guys, if you're getting value from this video, make sure you like, comment and subscribe, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. So let's go to number 4. Number 4 is employment, where there is a quick or a sudden increase in employment in an area. This tends to force up rental prices, but also in many cases forces up sale prices. It's a simple case of supply and demand. If all of a sudden an area becomes significantly more valuable, for example, if there's an introduction of a government growth plan in an area, it automatically means employment in that area will increase. In some cases, it's going to provide employment for around 50,000 people. Now, 50,000 people moving into an area will automatically mean the demand and desire desire for properties automatically go up. And this is why you want to be looking at locations where the government have earmarked, where they're planning to rejuvenate, or where they're planning to invest money in that area, because that would drive employment. When there's quick and sudden desire for employment in a confined area, there is not enough supply, and then there's a huge demand, it means the prices will go up. Number 5, has there been recent investment made in the area? And in some cases, you might just miss the government growth plan. So you might not get there before the announcement. Of course, that's where the money is made. But most of these growth plans and these investments are usually 5, 10, 15 year long projects. So it doesn't mean you've missed out completely. You can still ride the wave if you get in at the right time. And we saw this happen with the Elizabeth line, where many people were able to follow the Elizabeth line journey and buy properties in preparation for when the Elizabeth line was completed. And we saw house prices in all of those locations increasing significantly. So just because the government growth plan has already started doesn't mean you've completely missed the train. There might still be an opportunity for you to get in, because many of these growth plans are 5, 10, 15 year long projects. So don't beat yourself up because you didn't get in at the beginning. There is, in most cases, still opportunities to maximize your investments, because when these growth plans come into fruition, it usually means there's going to be mass employment, there's going to be lots of money invested, so you still have some time to get a piece of the action. And number 6, I like this one, because if you're able to do your research, you can find certain companies that are going to relocate their head office from one location to another location, which tends to mean that this large multi-million pound or billion-pound company is going to grow its own economy within that area. And they will bring all their staff members from one location into this new location. And what automatically happens in this new location is the value of everything goes up. Now imagine a company like Amazon moving its head office or its factory from one place to another. The new location is going to benefit immensely from over 10,000 or 20,000 new staff members who require housing, require accommodation, who will also be paying taxes and spending money in that community. Those are the things that force prices up. For example, if we look at some of the places that are doing exceptionally well right now in terms of sold prices, in terms of rental prices and yield, these are places like Manchester. So let's look at some of the large employers in Manchester. So we have BBC, ITV, Manchester University, Barclays. And one of the most important things is part of Manchester is known as Media City, which means it plays a key part in media. And there are plans to spend over £1 billion to expand Media City. So would that be a great place to look at as an investment? The answer is yes. Manchester Airport is planning to spend over £1 billion to expand their airport. Would that be a great place to start looking as an investment? The answer is yes. Another example, Birmingham. So let's look at some of the large employers in Birmingham. We have Jaguar Land Rover, Deutsche Bank, HSBC, Aston University, the HS2 project, which is over £106 billion, and a £1.5 billion investment in Smithfield, Birmingham. So there are a number of things that smart investors or aspiring investors have to consider when they are trying to make an investment. It's not just about how much rent will I generate or how much a property costs. You've got to look at the factors that affect a rise or an increase in property. Hey guys, if you got some value from this video, make sure you like, comment and subscribe. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below.